Here is a look 1 through 10. Elliot, been working on this for quite some time. Saints and Bears 1 and 2. Seahawks and Texans rounding up.
Yeah, a little bit of a free fall for the Texans, Dan, but it's because of injury woes. Lamar Miller hopefully coming back, but DeAndre Hopkins banged up. They just lost Demarius Thomas. Deshaun Watson doing it on his own.
Yeah, injury is a big issue there. Saints remain at number 1 after escaping with a win over the Steelers, a win that secured home field advantage in the playoffs.
You know, some people view this as escaping. I look at it, first of all, that's a great play. There's nothing fluky about that. That's a defensive tackle running down the field, making doing a rip job there. Look, the Saints played a desperate team trying to make the playoffs that has a very good offense. And yeah, they barely won. That happens. The point is, they won.
Listen, this is the best team in pro football through 16 weeks. It ain't exactly the 89 Niners or the 78 Steelers or 92 Cowboys. The best team in football, certainly fallible. The Steelers just about showed the world that.
Saints number 1 for 8 straight weeks, the longest streak in the power rankings since 2011 when the Packers were number 1 all season. Bears up 2 spots to number 2 after a tightly contested road win against the Niners.
Yeah, Dan, I think this is another game where people question, well, what about the quality of the win? Hey, have you watched the 49ers last month?
Tough, dude.
But a tough out, right? The Bears won the way that they win, which is to pressure the quarterback, play good defense. Mitch Trubisky makes a couple good plays for you. The only thing they're not doing is I want to see Jordan Howard have a breakout day.
I agree with you. That's what you want in January, especially if they can have a home game up there in that cold Chicago temperature. But, yeah, listen, they can get to the QB. If you look back through it in the 21st century, teams that can get to the opposing QB happen to win a lot of games in January.
First time in the history of Elliot's power rankings the Bears have ever been at number 2. 11 through 20 looks like this. Steelers down 2 spots. The aforementioned Steelers 2-11. Falcons up 5-19.
Yeah, I would have loved to move the Browns up further. I love the energy that team is playing with now. Of course, they have a big game, but everybody else won. That was the problem.
All right, so here's the deal. If Pittsburgh beats Cincinnati and Baltimore loses or ties Cleveland, your Steelers are in the postseason once again where they belong. Are they going to get there?
You know what? I think it's a very long shot at this point. Yes, if you watch the Saints game, you saw the Patriots game, and so on throughout the season, they can play and beat anybody. The vexing thing is that they can lose to anybody, too.
Yeah, well, I would agree with that. But the other thing here, too, Dan, is for them to win, you know, they're going to need Baltimore to lose to Cleveland. And that's a tall order.
No, impossible. Impossible, right?
Oh, no, I don't think so, my friend.
Well, the Ravens are on such a roll. They've taken over the AFC North. They are a true juggernaut that no one wants to play come January. That's what I keep hearing. And standing in their way between their first playoff berth in many moons now, Baker Mayfield. Come on. Listen, the people of Baltimore don't respect you, Baker. And you know what? I guess you're just a rookie. I mean, if I were you, maybe I'd get a chip on my shoulder about it and go give them what for. We in Pittsburgh
Sounds
love
like
you,
a classic Dameshek ploy.
Yeah, he's trying to play the X.
Baker Mayfield. The Steelers, by the way,
Get
have
dangerous.
only missed the playoffs 3 times in 11 years under Mike Tomlin. Now, hearty congratulations to you, Elliot. For the first time in franchise history, the Cowboys secure a playoff spot after starting the season 3-5, which begs the question, how far are the Cowboys going to go this year?
One and done, Dan.
Wow.
One and done. And I look, they're probably going to play Seattle, okay, in Dallas. Nobody wants to play Seattle right now. And the way Seattle plays, they run the ball. They limit your opportunities. So if you get off to a slow start offensively, you might be done. What team is great at getting off to slow starts offensively? The Cowboys. I think Seattle will outcoach them. And Dallas has not played any quarterback like Russell Wilson. Not a guy that can make these kind of plays. So the coaching advantage and the quarterback advantage both go to Seattle. I think it's one and done for the Cowboys.
You have little faith.
Yeah, really, Elliot. I thought you were a Cowboys guy.
Sorry.
Listen, I'm with you. In math, it might be different, but in pro football terms, 3 is greater than 4. Russell Wilson definitely giving the Seahawks the edge there. But whoever survives this game, like Elliot says, is going to be a tough out for these big offense teams. They don't want to see a team that's going to try and grind you on the ground for 60 minutes.
Right. I actually think Seattle could be Dallas's toughest opponent. I could see them going to play the Rams and beating them. I could see them beating the Saints again.
Everybody thinks Seattle's so tough. They're just 4-4 on the road. I know they've already beaten the Cowboys. That was week 3 in Dallas. Seattle, a 500 team
lifetime
on the road.
ago.
That game's in Dallas.
I understand.
That could be the difference.
How much home field advantage do the Cowboys have at AT&T? Come on, even Cowboys fans will tell you we don't have a home field advantage.
I don't know that I've ever met a Cowboys fan with smaller hope for his team than Elliot Harrison. 21 through 30. Okay.
Yeah. Small hope. This is the board for it.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Lions and Giants 21-22. Jags rounding out your top
remarkable.
30.
Just remarkable.
It's incredible. How about the Raiders? They get a Christmas Eve win and move up 5 spots.
Yeah, I love this, Dan. I love the way they won. I love the fact that they just ran the ball. They played solid football. And I like that they're closing out the stadium, Dave. The stadium has seen the 69 AFL title game, the 76 AFC championship, which sent them to Pasadena for their first Super Bowl win. It was awesome.
Yeah, many memorable memories from anybody who looks back at the 70s football that was played there. I like looking to the future, though. Derek Carr has quietly had a nice second half to 2018.
Oh, there come those pesky Eagles again. It is time for postseason's greetings. It took me a while to kind of figure out who we were going to start with here. Dameshek, you know how I decided?
How?
We just went with the elf. All right, let's go. Elliot, let's go. You're up.
Spear in the back for 400 yards for Christmas. That's what I just got. All right, I'm going to open my gift.
Because I love it.
I'm hoping it's a Millennium Falcon.
I don't think it is.
All right, I'm
a little
just going to
fat from the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, it's not a Millennium Falcon.
Maybe BB-8.
It might be BB-8. Oh, I got a question here, and I got an Eagles helmet.
Yeah,
Look at that. Look at this, everybody. Beautiful Eagles helmet.
That's great because they just showed video of that team.
Yeah. Will the Eagles make the playoffs? Will the Eagles make the playoffs?
Let me unwrap that for you.
I'm going to say that they are. The Eagles are going to make the playoffs, Dave, because guess who has something to play for in Week 17? Can you guess?
A lot of teams, but I'm guessing you're thinking about the Chicago Bears.
You are correct, sir. They're playing at Minnesota. Kirk Cousins' record against good teams, not great. And I actually think the Bears are going to win that game, which means the Eagles just have to take care of business against Washington. And their QB4, Dan, Josh Johnson, I think they win.
I think that you're right about that, and I do think that I'm going to be a little Scroogey here. Had the Texans not been felled by so many injuries in the second half, I don't think the Eagles would be in this spot. Either way, I love the Nick Foles story. Even if they do get in, I think they're going to be a relatively quick out.
What a Scrooge you are.
No.
How, would you create a memorable memory for us?
It's my turn?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, I know this hat. Oh, it's the Seattle Seahawks.
Oh, it is.
Hey, can I make a request? I don't want to return this gift, but can you wear the silver one? That's the nice one, the Jim Zorn, Steve Largent one. The question is, are the Seahawks... Take it away, fella. I'm trying to go about the Seahawks and whether or not they're dangerous. Yes, they are dangerous as a wild card team, but the most dangerous of all wild cards, the Los Angeles Chargers. I told you in the preseason, they were going to the Super Bowl. I stand by that. I don't know anybody in the AFC or in the NFC that's as loaded.
The Ravens? The ones that just beat them?
Could be the Ravens. I love that rematch,
I think that was an anomaly.
Okay.
Top to bottom, that's the most talented roster in the AFC.
Can you get to the QB?
Can you argue that?
No.
You know the last wild card team to win a Super Bowl?
The Pittsburgh Steelers?
No, I believe it was the Green Bay Packers in 2010.
That is correct. Yeah. That is correct.
They beat the Steelers.
Oh, wrapping paper here. All right. Can I go, guys?
Yeah. Oh, you have to open it the cool way.
Yeah.
He's all manly.
Take that off.
Yeah.
Will the Patriots make their 8th straight AFC Championship game? That's crazy.
I don't know about that.
That's great. You don't know about it?
I don't know about that.
They have to beat the Jets in Foxborough this weekend to secure the number 2 seed and a first-round bye. Do you know how many times they've secured a first-round bye and not advanced to the AFC Championship game? Don't patronize me.
How many times? I can think of one.
Once.
2010 against the Jets. Yep.
In the Belichick era.
Yeah, I remember that game.
One time. Listen, you sprinkle in a little Brady, a little Gronk, some Edelman, the defense steps up. Sony Michel certainly going to help a lot. I think that is a recipe for playoff success once again.
Texans let them off the hook. The AFC now will suffer as a result. And, of course, the football gods long ago, gave Tom Brady the greatest gift of all, the AFC East. Congratulations, 60 minutes away from another title game.
He's talking an awful lot on the show for being a guest.
Yes, I agree with that.
All right, time for naughty or nice. Which playoff teams are headed in the right direction? If they're naughty, obviously they're not going to go very far. If they're nice, then they are. Elliot, we start with those Rams. Naughty or nice?
A couple things. I do miss James Jones's tight turtlenecks today. The Rams, I think, are naughty. I think they're probably going to lose in the first round. I don't like them in a matchup against the Seahawks. If the Seahawks emerge, I don't like them in a matchup against the Bears either. And I wouldn't even really trust them against Dallas's defense. I like the Rams as a team, but I don't think they make the NFC Championship, and that would be a failure for them.
The Rams have been in the top 5 of your power rankings all year long.
Talking
what about the
matchups here.
Chiefs, Shaq?
The Chiefs. I'm going to have to go Scroogey here again. And sadly, as much as I've enjoyed the Patrick Mahomes experience of 2018, they cannot stop the run. That will be their undoing. Somebody is going to go into Arrowhead and just run the ball on them all day long, and Mahomes is going to go home with Andy Reid. Yeah, might be Baltimore.
2-2 since they lost Kareem Hunt. That certainly has not helped the offense. Finally, Elliot, the Texans.
Well, it doesn't help your offense when you don't have your starting running back healthy. The Texans don't have that. Your number 1 wide receiver isn't healthy. Your number 2 wide receiver is out for the year. I don't think Deshaun Watson can do it by himself throwing to guys from Limestone College like he did last week. Then again, watching that fourth quarter, maybe he can pull one out. But I think they are doomed. I think it's naughty for the Houston Texans.
It's the Colts and Titans. Win or go home on Sunday night. They are the focus of Balance of Power. Take it away, Elliot.
Thanks, Dan. Big game here. I got Colts at 8, Titans at 14. This is to get into the playoffs. Dave, how you seen this matchup starting at the top?
Well, it's Andrew Luck versus Marcus Mariota, and given that we only have so many precious moments here on the Big Blue Marble,
can we go ahead and
just move along?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yes,
all right, we got Andrew Luck there. What about running backs? This is an interesting one.
Yeah, I don't think it's as decided an edge for the Titans as most people probably would consider it to be. Derrick Henry, however, in December has been a phenom, and it seems like this is the knack that he has, is to turn it on as he comes down the stretch, and the Titans come down the stretch. That being said, I do like Marlon Mack.
That's who I would take in this. I take the Colts. I like Marlon Mack. Nyheim Hines gotten involved. You saw what they did against the Cowboys a couple of weeks ago, that talented front seven. Marlon Mack has actually had more 100-yard games than Derrick Henry's had. He didn't get off to a good start, Derrick Henry. I would take the Colts, but I'm going to defer to you on this.
I know it sounds simplistic, but too many football players have told me this over the years. When it's cold outside and you have to try and wrangle a big guy like Derrick Henry, that's hard to do. I'm taking Derrick Henry and company.
All right, wide receiver, tight end.
I mean, we have to go with the Colts here. It's not as though I'm overwhelmed by what they have in terms of pass catchers, T.Y. Hilton notwithstanding. But really, what are you looking at if you're Marcus Mariota back there? We got to go with the Colts.
How about Eric Ebron, too, for those guys?
Sure.
All right, defensively, I think this is pretty easy, although I'm impressed with the Colts. But
yeah, the Titans statistically are right up there with the Ravens and everybody else. The Colts, though, do have a lot of nice pieces. Kudos to Ballard and company for turning that weakness into a strength.
So you giving it to them?
No, I'm going to go with the Titans.
All right. And coaching.
Especially
I think this is a fascinating matchup.
Yeah, it really is. 2 rookie guys. We don't know how this one's going to turn out. Elliot, I'll defer to you a little bit here.
Well, I think Frank Reich could be a Coach of the Year candidate, but Mike Vrabel, he's been in a lot of games like this, Dave, and we're just talking about for one game, so I would not be disinclined to pick Mike Vrabel on this.
Yeah, coaching experience in the playoffs. Frank Reich has some playing experience in the playoffs. I'll refer you to the Tennessee Titans, who used to be called the Houston Oilers, who once went to Buffalo and took a 35-3 lead, but then a guy named Frank Reich rallied them. I'm going Reich.
Good call.
And by the way, I think this all amounts to the Indianapolis Colts emerging victorious. The 6th seed is theirs. Have fun in Houston, fellas.
All right, how about some locks in absolute power? Elliot, would you lead us off, please?
Sure, I will. I think the Vikings are going home for the holidays. They're going to lose at home to the Chicago Bears. This was a preseason Super Bowl darling with Kirk Cousins. Dalvin Cook coming back was supposed to be the big narrative. Just hasn't worked out, guys, and I think it's going to work out in them being home for the holidays.
Don't count Cousins out. Okay? Remember that phrase. Dave, go.
Well, listen, it pains me to say this, but, I guess Terrell Suggs knows something that we don't know. I mean, he doesn't respect Baker Mayfield. The Ravens don't respect Baker Mayfield. They think they have no chance. They've already begun selling playoff tickets online, or will later in this week. That's downright disrespectful. But what chance does Baker Mayfield have?
Finally, it is time for Elliot's closing arguments. Dameshek, this is where you don't talk. These 30 seconds are all for Elliot. Elliot, take it away, my friend.
You bet, Dan. Thank you. Merry Christmas. Okay, Buccaneers. Listen, Buccaneers fans, you want some drama, just watch the play clock when your team's on offense. Dolphins, 3 games of under 200 yards on offense. Broncos could have made the playoffs, and they played the 49ers, Browns, and Raiders and lost them all. Giants, Saquon Barkley going for 2,000 yards when they've had no passing offense. And the Cleveland Browns, how great is it that we're in a show in late December, Christmas, and the Browns are relevant. It's awesome. I hope they win this week and go out with a winning record and give you all a Christmas gift. Football fans, it's a Christmas gift that Cleveland is relevant again.
Dave Dameshek.
Steelers fans supported you, Browns,
Elliot
when you lost your team. Do it, Baker. You can do it.